can you guys go ahead and draw two lines? They don't have to be parallel. So whether or not they're parallel, actually I'll purposefully draw it so they're not parallel right now. And then we explore, well, what happens if those lines are parallel? But right now it's just two lines and what we call a transversal. A transversal is a line that cuts across the two initial given lines. And what I do is I picture the blue as like the bread of a sandwich, and the transversal, which starts with a T, looks like if you guys had those, nice deli sandwiches that they presented at the restaurants where they don't want things to move, so they stick a toothpick into it. Do you guys know what I mean? Like where you have a toothpick going through it. So what I see is like a sandwich, and then you have like a toothpick going through it. That toothpick is your transversal. Okay, so certain angles are formed from that. We're going to go ahead and label the lines as they described. So lines A and B. And then we're going to label the transversal. They wanted to call the transversal C. Oftentimes, they usually call the transversal like T, but it doesn't matter. They're just naming it with the lowercase letter. Okay, so same side interior angles. I'm going to give you guys like the nickname for it and the descriptions for it. And then to the right, I'm going to draw a picture with just that angle, or sorry, just with those angles. So first, we're going to name all of the angles up above here as this is angle 1, 2, 3, 4. So tucked inside the angle position, those are going to be the angle names, 7 and 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then to the right of the same side interior, this column over here is just going to be our diagrams and pictures. And we're going to refer back to this one when they ask us for the angle measures. Okay, so there's going to be certain ways I'm going to have you guys picture your angles so that it helps you guys to remember it. And so sometimes it helps students to see it like as, oh, okay, it forms this letter. So I'll have you guys trace in a highlighter what I mean by that. So let's say you guys had two lines and then again, a transversal like the toothpick going through those lines. Not necessarily parallel at this point, but parallel if you guys want to draw it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is have you guys now with your highlighter. Okay, you guys are going to highlight. Oh, wait, my highlighter is too big. Okay, you guys are going to highlight this angle up on top here and then this angle below here. And can I have you guys type into the chat? It's kind of slanted, but what letter does that look like to you guys? What letter does that look like? What I just highlighted there. Okay, a letter C is what you guys, well, some of you guys put U, but C, kind of like a slanted C is what I was hoping for. So can you guys go ahead and write here? You'll hear me saying like, oh, okay, the same side interior angles are like the angles that form the letter C. And so the angles that form the letters that we're referring to are this angle right here and this angle. So we would describe those two angles as same side interior angles. And the same side means that they are on the same side of the transversal. They're on the right side of the transversal. And interior means that if this was my bread, they are on the inside of the bread. Okay, so these are the bread, the two lines, and then these angles happen to be inside the bread. So it's same side interior angles. Again, the same side of the transversal. If we describe the other angles on the opposite side of the transversal the same way, same side interior angles also encompass the angles that are backwards from that. So like the backwards letter C that you guys see here, this also is same side interior angles. So go ahead and do that as well. So this is same side interior angles as well. Okay, the abbreviation for same side interior angles, because we use it so often, is going to be SSI. Okay, so actually, can you guys put that under nickname, SSI? So when you say SSI, I'll know you guys mean same side interior. And I erased over that because in certain textbooks, they're called consecutive interior angles, but we're going to use same side interior because that's what your textbook uses. All right, so over on the right, can you guys go ahead and label this? This is a set of SSI angles, and this is another set of SSI angles. For the section where it says angles, we're going to list out the angles above that are same side interior. and they go in pairs. Okay, so in the chat, can you guys name one set of same side interior angles in the above picture? One set of same side interior angles. Okay. Good. And you guys, when you're looking at it, remember it's on the same side of your transversal. This is your transversal, so it has to be on the same side of it. So good. The majority of you guys have it correct, which is 4 and 6 is one of them. So go ahead and list 4 and 6, and then comma to say that there's another set, and that would be 3 and 5. Okay, the reason why I saw one person put 3 and 4 is not it. First, 3 and 4, you already know what 3 and 4 are, or you should. That's a linear pair, right? They're right next to each other. That's an example of a linear pair. What makes same side interior angles same side is that they're on the same side of this line. So if this is your boundary, 4 and 6 are on the same side of that, and 3 and 5 are on the same side, and inside A and B. Okay, so good. Okay, the next one that we're going to talk about, alternate exterior angles, not as not as common in our discussions for parallel lines, but something that is important to know as well. So if you guys can draw another set of lines and then the transversal, and if you guys like, you guys can draw the transversal in a different color. Okay, so if I use the words to help me kind of position where everything's at, alternate exterior angles refer to angles on the outside. That's what exterior means. And then they're on alternate sides of the transversal. So if I had to highlight the position of one set, it would be this up above here and up and down below here. Okay, so because this one's not as common, I'm not going to tie a letter to it, but you guys can kind of either call it what you see it as I guess some people call it like L's, maybe like wings of, I don't know what that looks like, but there's no letter that I can think of that looks like that. So opposite sides. So again, the alternate means that they're on the opposite sides of this line right here. So one's on this side, one's on this side. They also happen to be outside your sandwich. Okay, so this is on top of the bread and this is below. Okay, is there another set, yes or no? Is there another set of alternate exterior angles? What do you guys think? Is there another set of alternate exterior angles? Yes, so just with that same definition, you guys can see up on top here and down below here, there's another set of alternate exterior angles. Okay, so the nickname for it is just the abbreviation that you would have. So AEA for alternate exterior angles. Okay, in your chat, now with the diagram above, can you guys name us 2 sets of alternate exterior angles? Okay, I'm writing out what people are listing. 1 and 8, comma, 2 and 7. Very good. Very nice, you guys. So those are alternate exterior angles. Can I have you guys go ahead and now draw the last 2 sets? Alternate interior angles and corresponding angles are more common in our discussion. And let's just practice having the transversal go in the opposite direction, because sometimes that confuses students as well. So the transversal is the toothpick. It can go in any direction through those 2 initial lines. Okay, so your nickname for this one would be AIA, alternate interior angles. Okay, so now if I just go off of that definition of alternate sides of the transversal and on the inside of the sandwich, okay, on the inside of the sandwich, then what I can do is now find angles that are on the inside. So this angle right here, and this angle on the other side right here. What letter does that look like, you guys, that I just traced? What letter does that look like? Yeah, so sometimes with alternate interior angles, we think of the letter Z. Okay, so again, on different sides of your transversal, so one's on the left and one's on the right side, And then it's on the inside of the sandwich, which the sandwich is the blue lines right here. Okay, so in the above, oh, and then we can also put the angles going in the opposite direction as well, right? Kind of like a backwards looking Z. Okay, the other set would be here as well. Okay, so forwards looking Z and then backwards looking Z. Can I have you guys in the chat type out the alternate interior angles that you see from the above picture? What are the alternate interior angles? Okay, good. All right, angles 3 and angle 6 and angles 4 and angles 5. Perfect. All right, and then our last one, which is also really common, is corresponding angles, which we'll abbreviate as CA. Go ahead and draw your 2 lines and your transversal. Okay, when they're in corresponding position, it's kind of like saying they're in the same spot. Okay, so for me, the same spots, this one's going to have more than just 2 sets. One same spot, I'm going to color code it, is these 2 angles right here. If I were to trace those 2 angles, I would form, I guess, a letter that's kind of upside down. Okay, what letter does that look like, but it's upside down from each other, upside down from the actual letter? Okay, this one's a letter F. Good. So this one is, it looks like the letter F going in all directions. So that's one of them. The other one you guys can picture as this as well. Like, so if I drew the letter F going in this direction, I have that this angle and this angle are also corresponding. Okay, and then on the other side of the transversal, you have the same thing. So like the symmetric reflection of the letter F, you have that this angle here and this angle here are corresponding angles, and then the angles above those two. So also this angle right here and this angle are corresponding angles. Okay, so that leaves us 4 sets of corresponding angles with 1 transversal. So can you guys go ahead and just type into the chat, what are some corresponding angles from the above picture? There should be 4 sets of them. Okay, so let me just verify because I can't see the entire thing. 4 and 8 are corresponding. That's correct. 1 and 5, that's right. 3 and 7, and 2 and 6. So again, they're on the same side of the transversal, but they are in corresponding positions. So kind of like the same position. And we can see that they look to appear to be congruent to each other if the lines were parallel. Okay, so so far so good, you guys. Can you type it to the 1, 2, 3? 1, this is easy. I've seen this before. 2, I haven't, but I can figure it out. And 3, this is hard. Just where are we with this material? Okay, someone had a 1.5. So, all right. So the majority of us are 1s, and then a handful of us are 2 and even a 1.4. So good. We just need to practice with this. So what I want you guys to do is on the directions for this one, they added a few things. Oh, actually, not this one. It was the other one that had more options to it. So on the first example, if you guys can look, it says refer to the figure on the right, identify each pair of angles below as alternate interior angles. So AIA or AE, alternate exterior angles, corresponding angles is CA, and same side interior angle is SSI. Okay, so you just have to respond with what they are. So angle 3 and angle 6. What I'm going to have you guys do is let's do this first 6 together, and then I'll or actually, no, I'm going to have you guys do those first 6. Let's do example 2 because it's got more than one. I guess this is a loaded sandwich here where you guys have A, B, and C are part of the sandwiches, and this is your transversal. Okay, so that means A, B, and C are not part of your transversal. Okay, so angle 1 and angle 7, you guys can see if it helps you guys to trace it out and then to look back at the diagrams as you're trying to remember it, that looks like alternate and it's on the opposite sides of the transversal and it's on the outside of A and B, so alternate exterior angles. Okay, so we'll erase this just because I don't want it to be cluttered with highlights. So angle 1 and 7 is alternate exterior angles. Angle 2 and 10, can you guys type into the chat? So when they're looking at angle 2 and angle 10, you're going to pretend line B isn't there. If it was line A and C and L is your transversal, what is angle 2 and angle 10? What type of angles are those? Go ahead and type it into the chat. Okay, good. For those of you guys who responded so far, that is correct. Okay, someone did mention SSI, so I want to address why it's not SSI. Angle 2 and angle 10 are not inside. Okay, so angle 2 specifically is not inside line A. Okay, angle 3 and angle 10 are same side interior, but angle 2 and angle 10 are in the same spots, which also, if you guys want to draw the letter associated with it as you guys are practicing with it, one thing you guys can do is if I were to trace angle 2 and angle 10, it forms a letter F. Or sorry, it forms, did we go over what corresponding angles? Yeah, it forms like a upside down backwards F. So angle 2 is corresponding angles. So it kind of trace out the angles to see what it looks like. Okay, so can you guys type into the chat, what do you think 8 and 9 are? Good. Excellent. All right, you guys got this. So all of you guys are typing in SSI. So good on that one. Let's try 4 and 10. Okay, so again, with 4 and 10, just so you I help you guys read this a little bit. With 4 and 10, you're going to pretend line B isn't there. Okay, so if it's just line A and C and then the transversal, what is 4 and 10? Very nice. Good. Those of you guys typing it out. Okay, they are on alternate sides of the transversal and on the inside, so alternate interior angles. Very nice. 3 and 5. Let's try 3 and 5. Okay, still AIA. And then lastly, 1 and 9. Okay, very nice, you guys see a corresponding angles. So what I'm going to do is leave you guys to, I believe the homework assignment is